I think all of us in the past year, as we reached the 1-year anniversary of going into quarantine and really the impact of COVID-19, we have all known someone, especially here in this body, in this building, that has been COVID positive. We have all been impacted by someone who has unfortunately passed away because of COVID. I have not been vocal about this publicly, but I have also lost family because of COVID-19, and it is incredibly painful. It is painful to think about essential and frontline workers who are risking their lives every day, who have risked their lives every day so that the majority of Californians could stay home and quarantine and isolate and get their groceries delivered. There's still a human being behind that delivery. There's a human being behind someone who is stacking the grocery store. There is a human being at your favorite Thai restaurant that you get delivered through your favorite app that continues to be exposed every single day. We are doing the very best we can to have both protections for small businesses, which we worked really hard on, and also do the work necessary that we need to do to ensure that Californians are protected, our most vulnerable communities. It's not a conversation about either, and I have been frustrated and amused at the same time that the conversations are singular. It's either business or it's either workers. And I'm here to tell you today, and I will move this forward every day that I continue to serve in this assembly, that it's both. We can do both. We can protect our small businesses, which are the backbone of the California and the American economy, businesses in my district that I love and that I don't want to see shut down, while at the same time we can protect the health and safety of the workers that make our economy run. We can do both, and we should do both. I went really quickly onto the SBA.gov website, and I was able to look up numbers for California small businesses, and in fact, it's laid out very, very simply. 1 to 20 employers in a variety of different types of industries, totaling up to 643,141. This information is readily available for all of us. I'm more than happy to ensure that our budget staff sends it out so that you can make a concise decision and feel trust in the decision that you're making. Ultimately, know that at the end of the day, when we did AB 1867, it only covered 500 plus employers because federal law covered less than 500. We were trying to find the safety net for our small businesses and our working community to ensure that they get protected. The businesses that have been exempted for 25 and under, I am not happy with that number. Several people aren't happy with that number. Some people actually wanted less, 5 or less exemptions. And that's okay. We came up with 25. The Small Business Administration titles it 1 to 20 staff. And we came to an agreement, and it isn't perfect. But it is an agreement that we came up with that this body feels good with, the Senate feels good with, and hopefully the governor's office is also in a good place with. And I share that to say that 25 and up covers 10.4 million workers in the state of California. But it is the small businesses, and I hope that everyone that's talking about small businesses can come to the table and work with me so that we ensure that those that are 25 and under also have protections. Your favorite coffee shop around the corner. If one employee gets COVID and is COVID positive and then infects the other workers and then potentially harms the health and well-being of the people that are coming in to get that favorite coffee, guess what's going to happen? Your coffee shop is going to be a hot zone and you're going to have to shut down. None of us want that. We want to make sure that our small businesses are protected, that employees are protected, that they're able to care for a sick family member. We are rolling out the vaccines, and there's issues with vaccine equity that I'm seeing in my community every single day and in other communities across the state of California. It is not an equitable process. We are not done with COVID. It's still something that we have to live through. And there is a sunset date to be specific and to be helpful, and it falls in line with the federal government guidelines. Every business is entitled to a tax credit. Our charge, if you care about small businesses, and I hope that you do, is how do we now ensure that those 25 and under have access to the same tax credits which are available through the federal government that they may not know about, because we're not addressing it through this. So I would urge you to support this bill, to yes, ask your questions, but then understand that the answers are there and that we are working really hard to ensure that we get to a good place, and that ultimately, even the small businesses that are exempted from this bill have the same protections which are currently available under federal guidelines until the end of September. That's my charge as well, because I know you don't only care about the businesses that are 25 and more. The bread and butter businesses in our communities that make our communities thrive, the immigrant, Oaxacan restaurant in my neighborhood that needs support that only has 10 employees, I want to make sure that that immigrant-owned small business restaurant knows that they can still offer their employee those 2 weeks, even though it's not in this bill. And it is our charge to make sure that they have access to that information. So I hope that all of you that are saying you care about your small businesses, that you also care about making sure that they get the information. It's been a tough year. More than 500,000 Americans have lost their lives to the pandemic, more than 500,000. More than 55,000 of those live here in California. And we can deliberate all we want, but people are still getting sick and people are still dying. And they are essential workers in my community and in all of our communities that we need to protect. Just as we are protecting small businesses with all the small business relief programs that we have passed already, we can do the same for people. Because without people, those small businesses don't survive. They need each other, and we can do both. So I urge you, please, yes, do everything we possibly can to protect small business and ensure that they don't close. I want that. But I also want to make sure that no one dies along the way. I just wanted to add to, I believe, what the Department of Finance just said regarding my colleague's question from San Bernardino regarding the American Rescue Plan. It also includes what we have excluded. The American Rescue Plan includes all businesses, including the ones that are 25 and under, which we are not covering under this proposal. So again, for everyone that's concerned about small businesses, I am concerned about the 25 and under, which include small restaurants that are not operating at full capacity, that do not have the 25 and up that they would traditionally have because of COVID, because of closures, because of all the things that we have experienced in the last year. So I hope that there is an effort in this body to also help the 25 and under, even though we are excluding them, knowing that there is federal support for tax credits so that those employees can also be protected under COVID paid sick leave. It's not what we're doing in the state right now, but it is available. And I hope that we all do the work necessary to ensure that those that are still 25 and under know that they can still apply for those tax credits, they can still operate, and they can still support their employees.